Yeah, hey Matt, what happened with the offensive execution there in the final 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of individual plays without giving you just one clumped answer that goes into it. I thought we had at times some good looks, and then at other times we just weren't simple with what we were doing. And what I mean by that is when you get a post up at 5 feet, just shooting a little baby hook and not trying to dunk the basketball. Getting the ball at the rim and not trying to tap the basketball, catching the ball at your ankles and not trying to shoot a 3-pointer. So we need we need some discipline and some mental toughness from people that have played on our team before, and we just got zero. And it's unfortunate because we put ourselves in a good position. We had a good defensive game plan. We knew with Likes being out how much he generates for this team that we were just going to stop the basketball. They end up 1 for 17 from three. And, that was our game plan. We knew Matt Cross could shoot. We didn't feel the other guys could hurt us from outside, and we were going to stop the basketball. It should have been one of those games, even with struggles on the offensive end, that we won 50-35. That's where we had it, but we didn't have the discipline to stop backdoor cuts or stop the dribble then in the second half, fouling the shooter. So it was a combination of a lot of things, and obviously execution, was a part of it too.
It seemed like the turnovers early in the second half gave them energy. Was that your team being too casual? Was that them playing the scoreboard, as coaches say sometimes? What was that?
Yeah, well, we start off the half, we get the rebound, throw it up to Brandon. He gets a shot blocked on the break, and they get going, and they cut this, and they send it down to 11 or 12. We sub, get some guys in and out. We run it back up to 17, that next time out. And so, now you took a punch, and now you moved it back up almost to where it was at halftime. And now you got to be able to settle into the game. And, we just weren't. I think we have too many people that are out there that, just have to concentrate on keeping things simple, and we simply didn't.
This was kind of a carbon copy of Marquette last year. Do you see any kind of common denominator with some of these games where, the second half?
Common denominator with some of the guys in the game. It's like, you're getting great opportunities to play, and you got to be productive. You can be productive by being a great defensive player. You can be productive by not turning the basketball over. You can be productive by running plays the right way. We have to get across the board. That's what a tough team does, man. A tough team executes. A tough team defends. A tough team rebounds the basketball and stays together. We just got down and, on ourselves when we were winning the game and controlling the game, and we went for a steal to half court, and it cost us 3 points. We fouled a 3-point shooter. I think it cost us 2 points. I think they were 2 out of 3 on those free throws. And it's just older players. It's like we get the ball at the rim, and, we're trying to tap it around and instead of just grabbing it. So I don't like to generalize the things because I like to go to each play and get things fixed. But this is a frustrating one here. This is really frustrating.
It sounds like you're more upset with your older guys than your younger guys. So this isn't like a young team issue.
I'm upset with myself. I'm upset with Purdue, period, across the board. We had guys out there that are capable of winning, and we put ourselves in a great position. And, we got away from things on both ends of the court.
When did you know?
That's on me too. It's on everybody.
When did you know you were going to have Eric?
When he practiced this week.
You
You just watch somebody. A lot of times when a guy comes back, he'll look good that first day, and then, he might be sore that second day. Then if he comes back and he's not sore after that second day, then he gets that third day in him. He's normally he's going to be pretty good to go.
All right. How did you look, in your opinion?
Oh, I thought he did some good things. He looked good in practice. Physically, he looked good. So like we said, 2-3 weeks ago, he was ahead of schedule in his rehab. So I thought he did some good things.
I'm good. Thank you, Matt.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Are we good? Mike, you on there?
Yep. How disappointing is that your older guys put you in this position tonight, and then how much is that a surprise based on some of the experience they got last year?
Right. I think, what you want to learn from that Valparaiso game is, the start of the game. Don't put yourself in that position. And I think obviously we come out, and it's like a different scenario now. It's like we have to relearn things. And Brian brought up Marquette, and it was a great example. Like we put ourselves in a great position early in the season last year on the road against Marquette, and it was very similar. It was very similar. It's each play, being fundamentally sound and being able to make layups, being able to convert layups, being able to keep the ball in front of you like we did in the first half. I think you kind of saw where things were going, and then all of a sudden we just had too many breakdowns. But we also, just didn't have the discipline that we needed to have to win the game. It is frustrating that you have some older guys that have played in games, and then when you get into these moments, those are the people that should be in the game. Sometimes they don't play as well. They're not in the game, or they're in foul trouble. They're in the game. And so, our big guys obviously are playing that foul war all the time, and it keeps happening in different situations, different games with different officials, and they're the common denominator. And so, they have to make an adjustment to learn to play the game, without fouling. And it gets people in the bonus, and, we have to do a better job.
How much is that disrupting your rhythm when you have to continuously interchange your bigs or go with somebody else down there?
It's just, you have a flow of when guys really play well, you want to stick with them. And then all of a sudden, if you're going in and out of the game, like Zach, it's a hard decision. He's obviously a weapon for you. He makes his free throws. He, goes 5 for 5 from the field, but he has 4 turnovers. And it's happened in other games. And so, now do you put him in there? And, you don't know. But tonight, it's he doesn't turn the ball over. I don't know if I'd have taken him out. Why? They can't stop him. They were fouling him. He was scoring. Good things were happening for us, when he was in the game. But those 4 turnovers in 15 minutes, that's a lot of turnovers for 15 minutes. And, now he's got to learn to cut those out. And it's really going to help us. But, they both were in foul trouble again, and we had 2 other people get in foul trouble, and we've had that. We got to learn to play smart, without fouling people.
Just how much deeper is your point guard position now that Eric's back, and you do have some other options there?
No question. You can play a lot of different looks. You can use Eric with Isaiah. You can use Eric, obviously with Sasha and Brandon. You can put 3 guards out there and have 3 guys that can really handle it with Ethan, Isaiah, and Eric. So you can do a lot of different things. And, when Jaden Ivey comes back, it'll give us a lot of different looks right there. But you're still trying to kind of figure things out. And that's what you want as a coach. And people always think you figure it out as a coach. And somebody's, production is what figures it out or lack thereof. And so, we got to get consistent production across the board, for guys that have played in all 5 games. And so that's what you want. You want those answers to come to you. But when you're inconsistent, it's hard to get answers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah, just it seemed like when things went well for you in the second half, Mason was a big part of it. Just your impressions of him right now.
Yeah, I thought he did some good things. And, he was around the basketball. He's got to learn when he's inside with the trees if he's got an advantage or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be able to kick those out. And but I thought from a competitive standpoint, I thought he competed. He's still really young in terms of his experience. And so sometimes when you get into situations you don't, you want to put, your guys in positions to be successful. But you also, they have to be out there. And I thought he earned the right to be in the game. I thought he played pretty well. And we were definitely better with him in, throughout the game. So, but his effort is top notch. Just keep learning, the game, and each team's a little different. Like today he had to stay, him and Aaron had to stay with Matt Cross as a bluff and stay guy. And, a guy that can really shoot the basketball, but then they got put on some guys of some pretty good size when they played bigger. But, I thought he did some good things.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.